Let's go to those the Resolve poll out today, because this is where we've seen a drop in the PM's performance rating. Now, this one's interesting. He's moved from -6 to -11, which means he's dropped 50 percentage points over the last 18 months. So 50 percentage points since he was elected. Dennis Shanahan reminded us last night. Now, I didn't have this stat front of mind like he did, and I tell you what, it makes you think, doesn't it? No first-term government since the Second World War has increased its majority at its first re-election attempt. Now, to survive, the PM has got to do that. So how does he buck the trend of history, Andrew?
Well, I think a lot of it comes down to the campaign, but I do have to say these rules are made to be broken, aren't they? And you frequently see from the second to the third term, as we saw between 98 and 2001, as we saw between 16 and 19, a government increase its number of seats. So I don't see any reason why it couldn't happen, although it's not looking very likely at the moment. What I say that could happen, probably what they need to hope for, is just maintaining. They've got a 2-seat buffer. Maybe they can keep the losses to 2. That's what they'd be hoping. It's always been a race between majority and minority. And I think the concern for the opposition is they've never been ahead once. Now, I've covered plenty of these terms where the opposition's ahead for a lot of the term, frankly, and then the government comes at the last minute and snatches it. Well, the concern for Peter Dutton is he's never been ahead once, even though we've had this massive cost of living crisis. So both sides have a lot of work to do. They have a lot of issues, the government, and I know you would argue, well, this shows they're incompetent, and fair play to that argument. But they do seem to have an awful lot of issues and yet still not fall behind in the polls. So I think going against the opposition is the fact that Australians like to give a government 2-3-year terms before they turf them out.
I do think there is that predisposition there, but I think the issues at the moment are really playing hard into Labor's weaknesses. It's not that this is something that could be won by either side. The issue's gettable by both sides. I mean, all the sores for Labor, all the wounds are being opened up again, particularly on this border issue. I think that's what's driving these last two polls. News poll yesterday, obviously Resolve today. Hey, just quickly, transparency. Dennis Shanahan says there's a lot of problems with transparency. The government was elected saying they'd be transparent. We've seen anything but. I know you push them hard to get details for us most days here on Sky, but I mean, people are telling me when they go to consultation on legislation, they're even banning mobile phones from business people and industry groups. I mean, I think this is really paranoid behaviour, Andrew.
Yeah, I don't see any need for it at all. But what I will say is, in all my time covering politics, I've just seen hypocrisy over this sort of stuff with every single government just about. They all come in saying we're all about open government transparency. It's a lot easier from opposition, isn't it? When you're in government, you see a few realities and
mate, can I tell you, in the Prime Minister's office, we did not operate on encrypted networks. Malcolm Turnbull and others did. We did not. Everything was there and FOIable. If you wanted a conversation that didn't get FOI'd, you'd have it face to face. But I have to tell you, I believe in transparent government. I'll leave it there. Thank you, Andrew Clennell.